Welcome back to Ultimate Scale RC. This is Matt. Alright, so this here is going to be the front clip module tutorial. I'll show you how to install that. Regardless if you do the cab module or not, you don't have to do that to do the front clip. You can do the stock body without doing the cab. All this is doing is replacing this front end. However, you will have to um modify your hood. You're gonna have to shave off on the bottom lip. You're gonna have to shave off 100 grand because in this kit, this adds that upper trim section where this is just a little sliver. So this is gonna raise that up 100,000. So you have to shave that off, and then that'll actually give you the opportunity to straighten that hood, make it flat, and square that hood off. Unfortunately, I can't show you that because I don't have a hood that I can do that with. I made a mold with it. So, unfortunately, we'll do that maybe later, but it's not a big deal. I mean, if you can do this, you can modify the hood. So something new, is the side marker bezels. I am gonna include them in the new kit. Um, because the box, the side box, step side box that I came out with has the rears, right? So if you do this box, then you're gonna want them if you do the front clip. So I'm making that standard, whether regardless if you have the box or not. I'm gonna come with it. Then this is an option if you want to install them, or if you want to use the Traxxas ones, or if you want to use the uh, the stock ones from RC4WD Drive. But if you do my box and you want them to match, then you'll probably want to install my version. And the way to do that, I've been trying to figure out how to do it, and I prototyped it here. So basically, it'll come with these plugs, right? And what you're gonna do is hog this this pocket out right here until this plug can fit in there. And then once you got that fit in there, then you're gonna bevel the sides. And I'll try to show you on this one. If you can see how there's a border around that plug, that's from where I beveled it so that I can fill that with the ASA slurry, right? So you put that in there, tape it in there, and then fill that groove with ASA, and then let it cure. And then once it's cured, you sand this flat until it's smooth, and then you can pop that out, and then it'll leave a perfect profile for this guy to fit into, and it'll look like it was meant to be. Um, just like this one. All that, however, I didn't on this side. I didn't bevel it as much as I did there, and it kind of took a little chunk out when I removed the plug. And that was because I didn't bevel enough. So, but we're gonna do that on this build along with installing this, and I think that's actually gonna be the first step. Um, is cutting that out. Now, if my battery dies, then um, I'll have to revert to something else. But I'm gonna try to get this done with the battery here. Let me see if it shows me. I guess it doesn't show me the charge level. All right, so one thing I need is my glasses. I'm gonna set this guy aside. All right, so oh yeah, actually, you know what? Hold on. I am jumping the gun. All right, I'm gonna put this back on the charger. What we can do in the meantime is we need to build our bezels and the turn signals. And well, you can do yeah, we can do all this right now. Because you are gonna want to have the bezels installed in here to make sure that they lay flat on the face of this. So that was one thing I didn't do in the original prototype, if you watch those videos. So we're gonna do that first. So that is gonna be the first step. You can see this is the cab module, just concluded video for that. So part one is up. Part two will probably be up tomorrow. Um, all right, so when I package this, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. But I think what I'm gonna do in the future is I'm just gonna take these cards and then spray it with the this stuff and just kind of let it tack up, then stick all this stuff to the card and then vacuum seal it, and then that way all the parts will be nice and tidy, and you kind of know what's what. So I'm gonna cut that stuff out of this right now. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it's not as professional as I want it to be. One thing, reason this is that right there is the reason I did it this way. To keep them rings with a bezel frame. Discard that. All right, so I leave these the supports on these just because it's easier to package it. But you may have to clean them up. And can use some sandpaper to smooth them. Okay, your headlight dishes, that's what I call them. Um, they fit the larger size LED, and they are designed to work with the RC4 drive lines. So those little studs that stick out, you'll just cut them off and just glue them in there, right? So pop that back out. Alright, so you're gonna want some super glue. One of these is spent. Alright, so now you're gonna need to identify which one's right and left. Now if you notice, if I got a little square somewhere right here. Alright, there's a flat on one side. So if you have a square, you'll see that all the other three edges are tapered. The one that's square to the back or the front is the top. Alright, so that would go top, and then you'll have three holes, and there's only three holes in this. So this is my driver's side, and this is obviously my passenger side. Unless I screwed up and gave you two the same sides. Alright, now, so I'm gonna set the passenger side aside for now so I don't get it mixed up. Alright, so the first thing you're gonna do is install the inner ring, and then if you notice one side of this ring is thicker than the other. The thick side goes to the top, the thinner side goes to the bottom. Alright, now this should just snap in there. If it don't, you may have to trim it. With, by sanding it. Alright, so I got it to fit. Alright, so hold on though. I need to get a couple Q-tips. Okay, so there's my top. That's my thick side. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squirt a little bit in the corners. Make sure you have a Q-tip on standby to wipe up any excess. I'm gonna get that right away. And then if you got something to press this in there. Right now I got the excess that squeezed out. So I'm just gonna wipe that up. Alright, so now the way that prints, because it's doubled like I was showing you, um, it's got like those layer lines. You can get rid of them. Alright, so now time to install this guy. Now another thing too, this is kind of printed on angle, so you may have to clean this edge up. If you look at it, there's like a ledge right here. That's the way this is supposed to be too. Just don't break it. Make sure you land it on something flat when you do this. Alright, so same thing but in reverse. You can actually do this side. I probably should have made sure it fit. Now again, double check, make sure you got the top side. Alright, grab another Q-tip, clean that excess off. And actually, what I just did there, you could probably wait till after this cures. Alright, so I got that side done. Now we'll do this side. Yeah, this time I'll do that after it cures. Alright, we'll figure out which side is the flat side. And you can kind of see it. Alright, make sure it fits. Well, it's kind of bending, so I'm gonna very carefully sand that corner, that back corner side. When we're at the thin side, I wouldn't even worry about that one. Alright, so and always check. Make sure you got the right sides. Or you could paint these too. If you don't like the plastic look. Nice. Dog just gulped. Alright, so this time I'm gonna glue the bezel side. And I'm gonna do the top. Sticking to my fingers. I just want to look at it, make sure it's seated. Now on this side, you just kind of, you don't worry about, because you don't see it. You kind of want to chamfer it in there, I guess. Alright, so them are done. Alright, so now your turn signals. There's a smooth side and kind of like a rough side. Just depends on your preference. I kind of like the rough side look, and I'm going to do the bezels the same way. And these usually pop right in. If not, you have to do a little sanding. But I like, I prefer that they press in versus gluing. I don't want to glue them. Actually, no, I want the smooth side. Yeah, actually, well, what I was calling the smooth side is the side that was on the bed. It actually looks rougher than the top. Looks a little more legit. Mm, let's get started. Guess you could use a Q-tip. Just make sure it's not one that you use for wiping up super glue. But they should fit. It should be recessed a little bit. Oops, wrong. Hurt. Yeah, I think I'm fully seated. Give it a little bump. Yeah, it's got to be fully seated. Break them. Uh-oh. Broke the elephant's foot off. There we go. Person use a file for doing that. Maybe a flathead screwdriver that'll fit in there. So those are fully seated. And then these guys, I know you gotta sand them a little bit for sure. Just especially on the ends, pretty much same as what I did there. Can't get it started, and may need to sand a little more. Put a little bevel on it, help it slide in there. But yeah, if you don't take too much off and it fits tight, you don't have to glue it. You can actually remove them too. Just stick a screwdriver in there and they come right out. Get that burr off there. Alright. Alright, so this stuff can cure now. Oh, I should have sanded this one. I didn't. Or no. Well, actually I had them mixed up, so I guess it doesn't matter. All right, so now we're ready to start hogging those pockets out. I'm gonna set this stuff aside. So I'm gonna leave the front clip right on there just to show people if you had a regular cab. So there's really nothing that we got to do to this. Um, this pretty much fits right in there, and oh yeah, we will have to install this stuff, but we can do this first. Oh, it's green. All right, so I just go take the holes out, just try to go straight up and down. Try to get some of it out of there now. And you can be pretty accurate with this. If you really took your time, you actually don't even need to do that. But yeah, it screwed it up, so definitely gonna have to use the plug idea. But you want to try to stay in the borders of that, right? Because you don't want to lose like the position of it. Doesn't matter if you screw up. It's just you making sure that you're still within the border of where that recess is initially. And yeah, you should initially try to do it without having to do this. Actually, um, try putting it in from this side. It's a lot easier. get close to the Dremel and then um hand file it. Alright, so I got it to fit that way. Really tight. That's good. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do is bevel this. You got one of these. These are, it's probably about a 1/4 inch. It's like welding steel. You want to really get a good bond between two pieces, you'll put a bevel on it on both pieces. All right, now I want to do the corners. And then the rounder side, the rounder corners, I have the larger radius, they go to the front. And might help if I put the right side in. All right, so now I want to fit in from the back. All right, now I got it. All right, so it fits good and tight. And I seem to have maintained the location. All right, so I'm gonna pop that back out because we need to apply some Vaseline or chapstick or something for a release agent. So now I'm gonna do this side. See if this one fits. Wait. All right, got it. Good tight fit. All right, so now I'll turn the bevel. And so now we'll see if it fits from the backside. Nope. I got the fit. It's good and tight. All right, so we're gonna remove this one. Set that aside. All right, so now it's time to start cutting. this off. So first thing I'm gonna do is cut the magnet holder off. And right where that ledge is where I'm cutting it. Just cut it off. Try to make it look like this was never even there. File that smooth. Alright, so now I'm gonna go straight down. Mm. So if you look inside here, this is you're just gonna follow that this inside edge. Alright? You can see it from the back side. Actually, once you get through the valent, or this, yeah, you use a pair of snips to get through the rest of it. Alright, now I'm gonna stop and just cutting that off. And that's where side snaps or brush cutters come in. And then we're gonna make those cuts smooth. If I can find my half moon file. Alright, so we're just gonna Alright, now I'm gonna take this where I cut that up flat to the rest of the flat. So now, see where this lands in here. All right, so right here is where these pads need to rust, and then you let this front section lay flat on there. And then it needs to be centered. Basically, yeah, I'm gonna use a piece of tape, and that'll self-center it. Then you may want to have your, ooh, don't want to do that. Unless I want it floating in there. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scribe a line up here to that bottom, and I'm gonna use this for reference. Actually, it's about 60 thousandths from the inside. So I'm gonna take that back out. So you see what I'm saying? So from the inside, I'm gonna scribe a line. I'm gonna put it back in here, and now look through your turn signals. Make sure. So you see where I got it overlaps. The fender is inside the turn signal. That can't be, right? So you need to remove from where the turn signal is. So I'm gonna mark that all the way up to that bottom ledge. Right, so I'm holding this kind of tight against there. I'm gonna mark, and then pretty much terminates all right there. Now you can take that whole section out, don't matter. I probably will. That's how I've done all the other ones. Anyway, but just for demonstration purposes. So you can see where that black is on this side. um, be the same thing here. That's where that needs to be removed. And I'm not sure this is the right tool. Maybe. If you use this file, it's easy. Which I will after. I'm gonna kind of rough it out. go to the file here. I didn't exactly do this procedure on the other one. There's a lot more filling because I took too much material out. So, you really don't need to take that much out. Basically, I'm gonna put this back in there, and if I see fenders, the fender in the area where it needs to be void, and back at it. So yeah, I still got more to go. Right, so you can see like right here, but the front fender or the gap between there. Let me make sure I got the right one because these were revised. Yeah, I gotta revise it. Actually, hmm, where is my hang a bit? I'm driving, and the stuff was all just here, and now it's gone. Oh, you didn't even need the. All right. So what was I doing? Oh, now I lost that part. All right, so what I call this is a support cap. So this is your. You may want to install this with a couple screws. Um, Actually got long enough screws. But you should also check with your hood installed. Using a stock hood. And then put the front and the side in. You don't need to put them all in. Those were M1.7 by 8 millimeter. Um, you can use a 2 millimeter as well. All right. Now I know what happened. I know what the measurement is. So for the hood, and I can get it good enough display using a tape measure. It's 7 inches and 600 thousandths, pretty much exactly. That's what I got. So that's what I want. And I don't have, I'm flush to this. So now, all right, so I'm gonna take this back off. This is why we did this. All right, so remember we did that there? Yeah, I should kind of show you around. We should have done it this way. The turn signals you don't need to install, and I wouldn't. As long as you can see that there's no interference, there's no point, and then you can always file it later. Where did my jet file go? All right, so I just want to make sure that this is flat. I'll do the side. Okay, now we're gonna fall down. Same thing. I think these are long enough. It's 1.7 by 8. This way you don't have to shim it or file it. The bezels will make them align. I'm just gonna kind of do that as we go here, and it'll be right from the get-go. Oh, another reason you don't want the turn signal in, because we're gonna be doing that with that bezel at the same time. So let's see how I had to push that flat. Do the same thing now. All right, so as long as it seats up there, along here, and that goes flat, and then the top of this is on the fender. That's what all we're after. Now this void that's in here, we're gonna fill that later. But this is like the first stage. All right, so now, just like we did on the Proto, I'm gonna mark it, but this time using an actual paint marker. So right where your pads are, another thing too is might want to put these in for a fitment, just a quick fitment to make sure that they're not going to interfere. There's like a radius right here that could interfere with these. Oh, plenty of room. We're golden. Oh, fuzz. Hey, be quiet. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do them after we do this because I can risk gluing them things in permanently. Well, actually no. Well, okay, so this right here, and then the top is where we're gonna be gluing on the top side, and then just this right here is all we're gonna glue. Oh, and then along the back side of that and in here. So along here, here, this pad, and then this pad on top. And that's why we're marking in here, so because we're gonna do both sides. So yeah, I think I'll what we'll do is we'll put this in, um, and then let it go for like maybe an hour. Then we'll install those and then glaze those in. I need more. A little too dry. All right, so what this is acetone, and then the ABS parts that you are gonna cut out. You're gonna cut them up in small pieces and soak them in acetone. And it'll make make a slurry. And then, because acetone will dissolve, or it's a solvent, to ABS, it'll chemically bond, or basically weld these two pieces together, because ASA is also the same thing. It's acetone's a solvent, and will do the same thing. So we're gonna make these guys one. Basically welding them together. It's a little different than gluing. Alright, so in case you haven't seen the other videos, so I'm gonna get that pocket right there. No, right there on this top side. And then right along there. Just make sure you're not gluing to your headlight bezels. Probably a good idea to mark that. Alright, now do this. Alright, should be good. Alright, so now make sure you have tape handy. You don't need to clamp on this. Tape is plenty sufficient. I'm just making sure I'm all the way to the side and I'm gonna push all the way up. Good tight there. Alright, so now I'm gonna kind of wrap it around. Make sure it's all the way pushed up though. So now check by them where the bezels are, the your marker lights are going to go. Kind of, if there's any things, any slurry squishing out of there, try to wipe that clean. Yeah, that wouldn't have been a good idea to have them pre-installed. We would have glued them. No, what I'll do is add a little bit. Kind of coating that. Um, kind of trying to put like a basically like a weld bead, as it's what I was trying to think of. That's pretty much it. Let's peel this stuff back. My slurry here has been drying out really fast lately. I think it's because got all this buildup on the rim. All right. So we'll let that cure for probably about an hour, and then I'm pretty sure I can take tape off, and then that'd be a good time to take the bezels out. Um, because it won't be fully cured, and if there is any slurry on the bezels, we can get them out then. I did have on this one here that I was working on. Where'd that go? They it's stuck right here. So good idea to take them out before it fully cures. So we'll let that cure, and then we'll come back and do the marker lights, and that's pretty much it. That's really all there is to it.